So the original stone is 1,300 pounds, and it's a piece of brucite. Yeah, just getting started on it. So it's always a really interesting part of the process, getting started on a new stone and figuring out how you're going to position the bear into the stone, and just, you know, checking the stone out, seeing what it looks like, and if there's any cracks, and the consistency of it, and everything. So there's lots that goes on in the first few days. So I got it positioned here, and I'm going to do the head right here. And I don't know if you can tell, but there's like a dark section here and a white section here. Let's see, I'll this pattern is split right down the center, so I decided to sort of make the center of the face be part of it black, part of it white. I think that'll be pretty interesting. We'll see if I can manage that. So I think that's a pretty cool aspect. I was not anticipating that, but that's part of the process of carving. You sort of, my wife said it best in terms of like using your instinct in those situations to make that decision. So I've made quite a bit of progress since the last video update that I did for everybody, but it might not look like much, but I'm sure it does look like something's happening there. But yeah, I've cleaned out all underneath, which took a long time. And in the process I pulled a muscle in my neck, so I had to take a few days off. So it was a good reminder for me to sort of check in with myself and the pace that I'm moving on these, and my goal is always to do a natural pace, find a natural carving pace that's going to create the best sculpture possible. And I find that when you do that, you just carve naturally and take your time. One decision that I made is I decided to put in the salmon in the front here. So it's pretty much just roughed in. He's going to be sort of coming across the front of the bear. So I think that's going to be pretty interesting. Let's see what else here. Okay. So yeah, I worked a lot on this. You can see right here there's a piece of stone that I'm leaving. This is going to be totally suspended in the air. And as I'm carving the rest of the sculpture, I don't want this to break off. It won't because it's super thick still, but I left this sort of buttress here to make sure that the vibration is minimal as I'm carving, and then that's going to be one of the last things that I'll take off once I'm finished carving all these claws and stuff. I'll just then take that out. What else? Working on this back leg today. Let's see here, just getting in underneath, and got a little crack in the front here, so I'm just carving it back so it's not an issue. But otherwise, it's been going pretty good. Got a visitor coming to say hello. Hey, Bricks. Hi. Hi everybody, it's Andrew here, and I am in the carving studio with a update, maybe close to the final update. Just about got this guy complete, but definitely will have a lot more to do, but I'm into my last week, I think. And today I've been working on getting this salmon figured out. So I just started working on the head of the salmon here and just figuring out, you know, how the water's going to be. It's going to kind of be flowing down right here. So I use my phone a lot, so I'm always looking at photos. I go through hundreds of photos, and it's funny, I have photos that I've been using since the beginning, like years ago, and I know what kind of information is in that photo, and as I'm carving, it's like I'll have a flash, like I'll be getting to an area and I'll have a flash of a particular photo. And it's kind of interesting how the mind works that way in terms of like pulling up the information you need, and then I can go to that photo and get that information, whether it's like a paw curved in a certain way, or I know it's got a good, you know, close-up view of the eyes or something. In the last like week of carving, there was a lot more words starting to come through as I was thinking of different titles, and the one I settled on was Eclipse, so that's going to be the title of this piece. And there was a few different dimensions to it. Obviously, the main one was the color. Sometimes I'll have a title before I'm even started a piece, and it will stick. But in this case, the color was a really strong determinant of the title, because it looks like night, like it's just like these different layers to the stone creates this nighttime effect with these lime green colors in it, which reminded me of the moon. So I decided to go with Eclipse, which I think is pretty cool because it also references the face, which is partially the light and partially the shadow. So So there's a few different elements. I like the reference to the solar system, because the solar system is, you know, in the moon, it's such a constant system in place in this world. So it's kind of vast and mysterious in a way. Yet it symbolizes also like an absolute perfection in mathematics and consistency, which is pretty interesting when I think of the systems that sort of govern the planet. So I like the reference to the solar system, because I tell you, when I look at this piece, there's something that's sort of, it kind of reminds me of something really old, which is interesting because the stone itself is, I mean, I'm not sure how long it takes stone to form, millions of years sometimes. What else? And just the point of sort of the, I like to think like this piece never, you know, I carved this piece, but there is so many elements involved, so many people involved, you know, the space where I'm working and the people helping me set it up, where I get my stone, you know, the gallery that I'm associated with that's going to be showing the piece, and the people working in the gallery that are going to be helping me find a buyer for it, a collector, and then the collector, you know, the people, all the different people that have supported me, like, along the way, all the people, you know, on my Facebook, sort of leaving comments, encouraging what I'm doing. It's like, there's a lot of different elements kind of like coming together and aligning, you know, in a single moment to sort of like an eclipse, you know, happens with all these sort of components aligning in a very specific way to produce this outcome. Yeah, it's exciting to have it finally finished, and now I'm just starting the process of taking photographs. So there's like a few other final things. So the process of creating a carving is you know, something that I like to do is walk the process from the very beginning to the very end, and there's a lot of steps in between. So, you know, right now I have to get this thing in the gallery, so part of that is photographing it for my own website and for the gallery website, and inventorying and paperwork. So there's still different aspects of the carving process that isn't just carving. So today right now I'm about to do some photography. And I've been photographing my work since the beginning. So I've photographed a lot of these sculptures, and I'm getting, you know, I'm not a professional photographer, but I'm figuring out how to do it and what looks right. And so I'm gonna try this light. It's about 10:30, and I'm actually, if you look at the background, I'm actually gonna get that background wet, because I find it looks nice with a sort of a darker blue in the back. So I'm going to test that out, and that's kind of my project for this morning. And then in the afternoon I will be starting with this, you can see that red cedar stump that I got yesterday. That will be sanded and oiled, and that's going to be the base that it's going to sit on. So it's pretty exciting. So it's quite interesting if you think about, I was thinking about this yesterday, how, you know, I've spent the last 2 months carving this piece, and you know, you think of the stone, which is millions of years old to form in the earth, and then I get this base, which is like a red cedar tree stump, and I mean, that tree is huge. It looks like it's 100 years old, 150 years old or something. And then you look at the time that's accumulated into this one project, and then I'm 37, so I'm actually just I'm doing this apparent big thing, but actually I've spent the least amount of time on this earth. So I'm only 37 compared to 150. So, you know, there's a few different processes involved in this sculpture.